Hello, my beautiful, 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 wonderful friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this space. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Kevin, if you don't know me. And today is Saturday, the 5th of August, 2023. This is your card of the day. So we're using Kyle Gray's Angel Prayers Oracle deck today. Well, we've been using them all week. And the Justice card from with Archangel Raguel that comes from Radley Valentine's Angel Tarot deck. Number 8, the infinity symbol. We've talked about all this all week. And we see our Archangel Raguel posed between the two pillars of justice, wings outspread, sword upwards, and then we've got the scales of justice right there in his left hand. The message that goes with this card is really fair and just decisions. What you know, believe in it, stand up for all that you believe. But all week long, Archangel Raguel has come to find the balance in each one of these cards and look for perhaps the gaps and the opportunities that you may have overlooked and missed. My Kevinisms, a new one today, another I am magnificent. If you are saying anything less than you are magnificent or feeling less than magnificent, that is where you're not necessarily honoring yourself. You're not necessarily honoring your higher self. You're not necessarily honoring that bigger part of you that deserves, truly, truly deserves to be shoulder to shoulder and equal to everyone else. And then the other one that I thought, well, why not? My thoughts, whatever you're thinking, turn into things of beauty all the time. If you're thinking things that are opposite to this, then this is a good Kevinism to bring that back into balance. All right, so let's get on with the card of the day and see if we can't pull all this together for something positive. Angels, Father in the sky, Mother in the earth, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, and entities from all four corners and all realms, I welcome you to this space, and it gives me great pleasure to be your messenger. I set the intention to see, to feel, to hear, and to know these sacred words, your sacred messages, and to deliver them in such a way as to enlighten, to inspire, and to heal. May this message be clear, loving, kind, uplifting, positive for all those who come. So be it, and so shall it be. Or this card here. Now this morning I did my own little private shuffling, and the Archangel Raguel popped out. Honor Your Thoughts was the card that came, and this one is quite delightful. Right here we see Archangel Raguel, the one who is somewhat in charge of the violet flame. Well, not somewhat, he is. And your prayer, which is what we send outward, is thank you, Raguel, for supporting me to transform away from my past challenges. Now, we see here, which I absolutely love, Archangel Raguel is holding what I consider to be a bit of a birthday cake, but it can also be a singing bowl. And just as you move from space to space, place to place, situation to situation, person to person, job to job, house to house, one place to another, that is all transformative. If we're not growing, I don't know what happens. Well, I do know, and I'll say it. If we're not in the mode of growth, if we're not in the mode of change, if we're not in the mode of getting from point A to point B, there's a certain amount of decay that goes on in our mind, in our thoughts, in our bodies, in everything that we know to be true. There is just a certain amount of that is just gets stuck. Similarly to, you know, vegetables. If you're growing vegetables, you know, you get those black spots, brown spots, dark spots, dead spots. And if you don't tend to it, remove it, transform from it, it spreads. So what I would say for you today is start really by declaring that I am magnificent. And if you're not feeling it, if you're not into it, if you're not really getting where you can be and are already magnificent, then two things are going on. You've listened to a story from this past and you've believed it. You've felt that you don't deserve to be magnificent, which is also, wow, who am I? That's an imposter type syndrome. Who am I not to be? Or you find it really weird to make a statement like this when it doesn't seem to line up with who you are. Those are all things that Archangel Raguel can assist in finding the balance and the justice. There's a real big thing that I like doing that I'll share with you. One of the things that helps us move from the feeling of A, not being good enough, the feeling of, oops, a daisy, I'm not magnificent and I don't know why, is to be creative. The challenge is at some point in our growth, we might have gone to an art class, a pottery class, we might have done something creative, we may have put our heart and soul into something that we feel like is looking magnificent and wonderful, and yet somebody who's influential enough in our life looks at it, judges it, or makes a derogatory statement about it. Now, at the time that that happens, two things happen. One, there's a feeling of being wounded. Two, there's a reaction. Oh, who in the world do you think you are? It's all resistance. It's all fear. Then the other one is it goes deep within the soul and it wounds and it hurts. Now, I'm not asking you to rake up those painful coals of the past. Please don't do that, because then that brings life to what it is that created it. However, you can look at it as if this were a mirror of the past. And what I have done is get creative enough to say, well, that was then, this is now, and I am magnificent. And every thought I have will turn into something of beauty. And you can sit with that, whether it's a painting. There's a wonderful artist on here. You'll see her in the comments below that does that, gets into the lower vibrational energy with breath work, and then finds that peaceful space within the heart and the soul and just paints from that wonderful, wonderful spot and allows the energy to come through. We're not here to prove anything to anyone else. We're not here to become the next Picasso or the next incredible famous Michelangelo sculptor. Those folks are in their own right created some incredible magnificence. But can you imagine if Michelangelo, not Archangel. If you imagine if Michelangelo, who did whatever he did in the Sistine Chapel, or whatever he created the David, the arm fell off. I don't know. I mean, I'm just making all this up. Can you imagine if he turned around and said, well, that's not magnificent, that's a load of old codswallop, or whatever he would have said, or even any of the artists, and I'm sure they did. I'm sure that a composer of music at some point or another put this music together and probably said it sounds horrible. It sounds awful. Those notes don't go together. They don't harmonize. There's one thing to bring constructive advice to someone, and there's another thing to wound and hurt. And I'm feeling like I'm hearing these guys saying, "What are you talking about, Kevin? Get to it." Transformation. When you say to your archangel, "Thank you for supporting me to transform from things that are not in my highest good into the road that brings me to magnificence, that brings me to excellence. Thank you for transporting my thoughts, my minds, my deeds, my actions into something that creates beauty everywhere." This is where you lift up your vibration. This is where you become, instead of just ordinary, we are really not ordinary in blood. We are normal people, ordinary people, everybody. Normal, ordinary, we're here, and we get to create magnificence all the time. We get to use all of our energy, all of our thoughts, all of our creativeness to create something of magnificence. And I really, truly believe, hand on heart, you know, I look back on my career, and there were times on my career when I was doing hair where these hairdos weren't really all that. I mean, the haircuts weren't all that. The colors were not all that. For me to get into a transformational mode, just like readings, when I'm doing a reading for somebody, I'm connecting with them. And what I'm asking and looking for is, what is the best possible outcome? How can I transform the way this individual may feel, think, and be right now, so that the next journey, the next little bit, the next little piece gives them clarity, peace, understanding, energy, whatever it is that they're looking for and needing. It's just a bit like, you know, I can't say coaching because that word is a bit weird. I always associate it with sports. An advocate, perhaps. Maybe that's what it is. It's an angel and spirit advocate, advocating for the highest good of other people. That's it, really. And I'm going to do that in a magnificent way, but I'm also going to help the other person feel completely magnificent. If you're not, then I'm like, whoa, okay, we seem to be denying ourselves this Aladdin's lamp full of gifts and blessings and treasures. I'm hoping I'm tracking with you and you're tracking with me. We can all be in that great big long line of woe is me and things are hard. I've done it. It's a magnetic pull. It's a bit like, whoa, good gracious me, I'm being pushed into that direction. Or I can say, I'm going to get in this line over here where there's light, where there's love, where there's encouragement, where there's all the things that light me up, light you up, light us all up. And that energy, my friends, is far greater, far more powerful, far more magnificent, far more beautiful, far more wonderful than any of the other stuff. It takes a lot less effort too once you get there. And I think that's going to wrap it up. You know what? Thank you for liking, subscribing, supporting, and your comments are golden. I love them and I love you. So listen, go out, have a great day. Until tomorrow when we pull a new card of the week and a new deck, stay tuned. Don't forget to smash the like. Don't forget to smash the subscribe. And don't forget to pass this along. Thanks so much. Bye.